What do you drink for a nightcap? Brandy? Bourbon? Cream-based liqueur? Keep watching to find out what my favorite nightcap is. Hello friends! Welcome to Happy Hour with Ollie. I'm Ollie, and what are we drinking today? Today we are drinking something that is not beer. That's right, today we will be tasting this dark chocolate Centennial Canadian Rye Whiskey. So this is my favorite kind of nightcap. I like to drink whiskey neat. That is, without any ice or any other flavorings. Why? Because I think it's lovely and sweet and warm and the perfect way to end a day. I think I've mentioned in the past that not only am I a beer lover, but I'm also a gin and whiskey lover as well. And recently, I went on a trip to Vancouver Island in British Columbia, Canada, where I visited a lot of interesting craft breweries as well as distilleries. So, before I pop this open, come for a stroll down memory lane. Hot. Hi guys, we're at Beachfire Brewing Company in Campbell River on Vancouver Island, British Columbia, Canada. And I am trying their pale ale, hazy pale ale, red ale, and stout. I started with the pale ale, which is really hoppy and smooth and has a really dry finish, which I like. So the thing that I would say it's not quite IPA, like not quite Indian pale ale, is probably just lacking that little bit of bitterness and depth that comes with the extra hops. But this is really good too, especially after a 3-hour hike to Elk Falls just now. Yeah, I deserve all the beer in front of me. the stout first. And she's paired it with
A stout cake.
Yeah.
Double chocolate.
super decadent. I can smell the chocolate from here, actually. So now I'm gonna try the Hazy Pale Ale. This one is actually not by Beachfryer Brewing. They are a smallish brewery and they only have a handful of beers. And so this other one they got from Gladstone Brewery, which is in Courtney, I think. So let's try the Hazy. Smells very fruity, very juicy. Smooth, fruity, sweet. And actually the finish is quite dry too. I really like this one. I was expecting it to be somewhat sour, but no, surprisingly good. Because this is happy hour with Ollie, I will also do a little bit about food as well. Look at this. Just braised beef tacos. Looks really good. And then this one is fried oysters. 4 kilos of flesh. I am now having the red ale. And this one is super malty. It's like really, really sweet. Even before the beer enters your mouth, it's like, oh, malt. Super sweet. Really nice. As you guys can see behind me, there are some posters saying Elk Falls. So before we came here, we actually did the hike to Elk Falls. It's about a 3-hour hike round trip. It's very beautiful. We saw salmon, saw a lot of people fishing, and a lot of people catching a lot of salmon. And we saw some snakes. Yes, Canada has snakes, little ones. Very cute, but yes, snakes. Alrighty, so it's time for the last one, the stout. As you can see, it's very dark. It smells really malty. So I would say this is a more syrupy, intense version of this. It's like super malty, super sweet. I like their beers. Like they all have dry finish, which I like. And then Mary has very kindly donated a small slice of her chocolate cake, which is also made from the stout, so I'm gonna pair it together. Lucky I did the 3-hour hike before this. It's really nice, it's really moist. Chocolatey. I think the chocolate cake is a little bit strong, so it kind of covers the stout. So I think I'm just gonna enjoy the stout. So that was my trip to Shelter Point Distillery and Beachfryer Brewing. Now I get to taste the dark chocolate whiskey. Yay! Let's pop it open. By the way, do you love my shot glass or what? It's so cute. My parents got this for me when they visited Norway. Let's pour the whiskey. Make sure that I get a full shot. As you can see, it's lovely and pale, pale, pale golden color. As soon as my nose comes close to the liquor, I'm smelling the chocolate right away. It smells quite sweet, actually. And I think I'm just gonna go straight into tasting it. When I first taste the whiskey, right away there's a sweetness of the chocolate, and also there's a sweetness from the whiskey itself as well. And that lovely, creamy, chocolatey sweetness very quickly becomes very fiery. It becomes quite hot and spicy at this stage. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to transfer the whiskey into a normal glass. And I'm going to show you how I taste whiskey and how I make sure I get all the taste of the whiskey. What you will need is some whiskey and some water. If I'm tasting a whiskey for the first time, what I will actually do is I will pour my water in a separate glass and I alternate between sipping the whiskey and the water. This is a kind of a Japanese technique to whiskey tasting, and the reason for the water is to draw out those extra sweet notes of the whiskey so you can kind of make sure you're getting every bit of the flavor that's in this whiskey. So here goes the water. After you taste the water will taste abnormally sweet. And then we taste the whiskey again on its own. So after I've had some of the water, the sweet flavors of the whiskey really comes out. And it kind of gets rid of some of that spiciness of the alcohol. What I'm getting is a really honey-like, a kind of syrupy sweet taste. There's also really, really nice nutty notes of the rye whiskey itself. Then I move on to adding just a few drops of water into this whiskey. Just a little bit. First, the sweetness and the chocolatey notes, and then the middle, we've got the lovely syrupy sweet notes of the rye whiskey itself. And at the very, very end, I get this nutty, creamy, licoricey finish on my tongue. I'm actually gonna add a little bit more water to it. So once again, with a different percentage of water in there, the whiskey is tasting quite different. After I've added water to my whiskey, I can actually taste the different kind of nuts. There's definitely hazelnuts in this. There's probably, I'm getting notes of almond as well, and perhaps some teeny tiny bit of that lovely macadamia nut flavor. This is so good. So overall, I really, really enjoyed this dark chocolate Centennial Canadian Rye whiskey. I think the chocolate flavors are so lovely, and this is something that is very smooth, very drinkable. You can pair it with almost anything, with meals, with desserts, whatever you want. However, I think for me personally, if I were purchasing this just for the sake of having nightcaps, then I would say I could probably go without the dark chocolate. If it was just a plain rye whiskey, I could still enjoy the malty sweetness that's in there without having that additional heavy, creamy, chocolatey taste. Do you like nightcaps? Do you like whiskey? Do you like spirits? How do you drink your spirits? Comment below and let me know. Make sure to like and subscribe so you'll never miss out on a happy hour adventure with me. Also, be sure to look me up on Instagram and use the hashtag #HappyHourWithOllie. Till we drink again, cheers mates!